St. Kitts and Nevis, good morning. This is Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9 for Monday, March 27, 2023. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. It is about 8 minutes past the 11 o'clock hour here in the studios of 98.9. Again, thank you so much for tuning into today's edition of Voices. I'm Devon Cornelius. You can also follow this program via our social media platforms. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Just search WINNMedia SKN. And of course, visit our website. That's www.winmediaskn.com for the latest in what's happening in St. Kitts and Nevis, across the Caribbean region, and internationally. All right, welcome to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. And thank you guys again so much for joining the conversation. It was a fantastic weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. Spend time with your family and your friends. I know a lot of divisions came over to St. Kitts for the weekend to enjoy the TDC sponsored inter-school championships, which took place at the Kim Collins Athletic Stadium. I was there in person, and it was indeed a fantastic sports meet. It was tense. It was very competitive. All of the athletes, I think, did a really good job. The schools all together, stellar performance. It was impressive. As a matter of fact, I think it is safe for me to say that it is one of the best inter-school championships I have ever attended. It is important to note that with the results coming out of that meet, and let me stick up in here to say congratulations to the Charles E. Mills Secondary School for a very good performance. They were very consistent, they were determined, and they had their eyes set on the goal, and that was to be the champions for the meet. I would also like to mention or give special mention to Team Nevis. I'm in division, so I'm going to be a bit biased here. I want to give a special mention to Team Nevis, and when I say Team Nevis, I am talking about the Charlestown Secondary School and the Gingerland Secondary School. The Gingerland Secondary School is my alma mater. But I said Team Nevis because we came down and we were supporting, of course, all the schools, but of course, we were supporting our Nevis schools. I think the Charlestown Secondary School, they... Let me say this to Charles E. Mills. You guys have to keep an eye on CSS. They were absolutely amazing. They were absolutely amazing. I can't find the words to describe what took place at the track yesterday. And so it would, in order for you to really understand what took place, you must have been there. You should have been there, But the sports meet, was excellent. It was really good. Charleston, I think, put up a very good fight. I think Basta High School came in for third place. Let me share with you, for those of you who have not gotten the final medal count as yet. I mean, have it here from the St. Kitts and Nevis Athletics Facebook page. So for the Charles E. Mills Secondary School, as we would call it, SEMS, they have 35 golds, 35 gold, 19 silver, and 12 bronze, a total of 66 medals. Then the Charleston Secondary School, they got 27 gold, 16 silver, and 15 bronze. That's a total of 58 medals. The Bastia High School, they got 13 golds, 17 silver, and 19 bronze, a total of 49. For the Virchals High School, that is 12 gold, 9 silver, 15 bronze, a total of 36. The Sadler Secondary School, 6 gold, 10 silver, 4 bronze, a total of 20 medals. The Gingerland Secondary School, 4 gold, 8 silver, 6 bronze, a total of 18 medals. The Washington Archibald High School, 2 gold, 9 silver, 12 bronze, a total of 23. CFBC, 2 gold, 7 silver, 4 bronze, a total of 13. And CHS, who's CHS? Keon High School. Yeah, Keon High School. They got 2 gold, 5 silver, and 6 bronze. Yes. Congratulations to all the schools that took place in the TDC sponsored 2023 Track and Field Inter-School Championships at the Kim Collins Athletic Stadium over the weekend, Friday to Sunday. And big shout out to the Charleston Secondary School and the Gingerland Secondary School. They were excellent. Let us acknowledge our sponsors for this program, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation right here on WINNFM 98.9. This is Voices for Monday, March 27, 2023. I'll take this break and I'll be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
TDC for service, TDC for quality. TDC your company, TDC for service, TDC for quality. TDC your company. Together we succeed, building our strong community, pressing onward to our destiny. One love, one family. Together we succeed. Let the whole world see. Yes, this is 50.
You hear that? That's unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging with Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plan.
Music to my ears. I can do everything in it?
Yep, all you want. Have endless fun when you activate a 7-day plan for just $25. Enjoy 10 gigs of endless data for all your pics, GIFs, stickers, voice notes, voice calls, docs, and even video calls. Do all you want with unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging on Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plans. Switch to Flow today. Conditions apply.
So check it out.
morning again, guys, and thank you so much for joining me right here on Voices on WinFM 98.9. It is a pleasure to be here. I trust that you guys had a very good weekend, and I wish you nothing but a very fruitful and productive day. Voices, an opportunity for you to have your voice heard on matters of national interest, things happening across the region, and of course, internationally. The phone lines will be open at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That is 466-0989 or 662-0989. You can call and lend your contribution to the discussion for today. In most recent news or making the headlines over the past few days has been the People's Labour Party (PLP), in terms of politics, and there being two resignations from that party over the past few days. We had a resignation from the party's deputy. Sorry. We had a resignation from the party's deputy leader, Akila Byron Nisbet, and then shortly after there was a resignation from the party's candidate for Central Bastion, Nubian Griot, and he contested the elections in August of 2022. He tendered his resignation. The reason for these resignations, according to Byron Nisbet and Griot, they both basically spoke to the party. They believe that the party lost its way and no longer stood for principles or core principles that align with theirs. And so after reading their statement, I gather that they saw it fit to, well, they said it was necessary for them to resign because the core principles of the party did not align with theirs, no longer aligned with theirs, and the party lost its way. And so they have decided to part ways with the People's Labour Party, and they are moving forward. Of course, there has been a lot of chatter since, a lot of conversation making the rounds via social media, of course. And people have been, radio as well, people have been weighing in and giving their take as to the future of the People's Labour Party. On Saturday, I invited Kamali Mannix, a youth parliamentarian out of Antigua and Barbuda, to give his take on the resignation of Akila Byron Nisbet. However, before that, we were not aware of, or the news did not come as yet about Griot's resignation. But essentially, we spoke about the future of the PLP and what does this mean for the party altogether. Those were some of the questions that were asked, and people raised their concerns and gave their opinion on the matter. In the public's eye, there is this perception that, as we saw with Team Unity, the party is falling, or all is not well. That is the perception. The party, in a statement earlier today, though, announced that they have, in other words, their executive has been dismantled because it is now time for a convention. Most political parties are governed by a convention. And so when you have an executive committee, let's say 5, 10 members or 12, members, whatever the number is, 11, whatever, there is a term that you are constitutionally required to serve. And so if you are elected as a treasurer or a senior official on a party's executive, you may have a year, 2 years, 3 years to serve. But in this case, it says annual convention. And so that suggests 1 year. 1 year. I don't know how they structure their year. But because, some parties have years that start in September and finish in the following August or whatever. But basically 1 year, and so they're saying, because of the fact that the convention is coming up, they some people have been saying perhaps that is a reason for the resignation. What is your take on all of this? Well, the second resignation by Mr. Guillo. What does this say about what's happening with the People's Labour Party? The phone lines are open and we want to hear from you. Call us at 466-0989 or 662-0989. Let's head to the phone lines and we'll take some calls. The caller, you're on the ear. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, good morning. I hear you were going on by the stadium. You are coming with them noisy horns, eh?
Absolutely. Had to be back in my team, man. Team Nevis.
Well, I must congratulate all of the teams.
Yes.
There's something about Sandy Point High School, The coach and the rigorous training they do.
Yep, absolutely.
They're like the Kenyans, The terrain under which they train is different to what Bastille and some other schools have. So they run them all up by Brimstone Hill. You ever walk up there or run up there?
No, I've never done that.
So man, they said they undergo. So I was wondering, should we begin not only to congratulate this school, but the coaches?
Mm-hmm. Well, they too play a part, and you have some coaches, Carla, that they're very, very dedicated, and they spend a lot of time with these children, and they mold them into becoming excellent and very, very good athletes.
Because I was saying, the one for Sandy Point, Kenny Douglas, right?
Yes.
I think it's Kenny Douglas, isn't that so?
Yes.
He was trained as a coach in Cuba.
Okay.
I
didn't know that.
Did you know that?
No, I wasn't aware.
Yeah, he's a trained coach. So I was wondering, not putting on the other coaches, because nobody has pay them in school. Everything is charity. I was wondering, and Nevis have the gentleman who went to the Olympics. He's still a coach, right?
Kervin Wallace.
Yes. Who's the coach for Charleston?
I think it is Sherman Keynes.
Yeah, look, I have been to some of the sport, and when I see Charlestown students running, I say, man, they should begin to bring in scouts. I hope they have scouts up there, Because these school children running Olympics speed, Are you aware of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because when they have anything in Jamaica, they bring in scouts. And I thought I heard that Kim Collins was doing some work in Nevis. Is that so?
I'm not sure.
Check it out. I believe I heard, I don't know if it is the previous government or the Nevis government, but he was hired to do some training. Because we long to see our flag at the Olympics. And if we have these children in school doing so well, they should be given the opportunities, because whenever Jamaica have any running, scouts come in. And I don't know what is the status of Jason Rogers. I know he had gotten his foot injured. We want to see the St. Kitts and the Nevis flag together. You could bring your flag, but I must commend all of the students. I must commend all the students, the parents, and the coaches. And the schools in Bastille, they need. Well, they can be taken now. They should be taken up at the stadium to train. So congratulations. I know I expected Charleston to do well, because I have seen them running. I said, my Lord. Well, since you all have that track up there, we're going to have to borrow it. You're going to have to learn the track. I don't care what you say. Now, I I want to address another issue. The one with the PLP, as your friend from Antigua rightly said. I don't know what is the hysteria. I have no idea what is the hysteria. All the parties have been there, down to nothing, and they bounce back. All. Labour went from 8 to 2. Palmer went from, what's that, 7?
Yeah.
Down to 1, down to none, and they bounce back with 4. You know? So, it's just political hysteria. Now, I want to address a serious matter. All of them are serious. I was contacted by somebody, I don't even know the person. The person said they usually hear me on the radio. So they decided to call me. Now, it is under the context of health and safety at the workplace. Health and safety. Now, I don't know if you know, but for years we have been trying to reform the labor code. Are you aware of it?
Yes.
Yes. In fact, it should have gone to the parliament in 2013. We have what is called a tripartite movement, not a movement really, the government, the private sector, and the workers' representative. They have been working for years on this labor code. There's a draft trying to bring up new laws like the harassment at the workplace, safety on the workplace. And I think this government said they're doing something, but I want to know. 10 years. 10 years have passed. This year make 10 years. And I have not heard it is on the Attorney General's agenda. Part of the stalling is the unwillingness of the private sector, and often I'm trying to find the right word, for the Labour parties, the union, because they are the representatives, They are on the tripartite board. Now, this worker complained, and I've heard it from other things, that often the workplace is not safe or healthy. Let me start with healthy first. I myself, when I used to work, used to visit factories. And you see women there sitting down, soldering, you know. No mask, no nothing. Place hot, I'd have one big fan. I remember speaking to one of the owners, and I pointed it out. She said, well, they said that they don't like the mask. I said, this is not a matter of like. They're inhaling poison every time they come into the place. Well, this one was complaining about the lighting first, right? And I hope the Labor Department is listening, because they're supposed to have inspectors who go out to the factories, shops, and stores, because not only factory alone, and inspect the surroundings, just like how government don't repair and clean the place, so do the companies. Dirty, they might clean the floor. And the people who have asthma and other ailments like that, they suffer. This one was complaining about the lighting, said that they came and told them to change the lighting. But the person said that they can't see well. And when they complain, they're told that maybe it's not the place for them. Certain kind of jobs that require concentration for a long time, they was, even working on the computer. You hear about carpal tunnel syndrome, Devon?
Yes, I'm very familiar with that one.
Yeah, some companies expect you all day to work on the keyboard. I know at my place where we used to work, we tell them, look, every 30 minutes after I take a break, well, I will want to finish what I'm doing. Sometimes the workers themselves, but you have got to set rules. If the worker complains that the lighting is too poor, it could be that the person have a vision problem, isn't that so? Therefore, arrange to have maybe the eye clinic or the ordinary clinic or another private doctor to come in and check the sight of the people, because some of them have to be looking down with the light in the eyes. And as you age, or some people have natural defects, eh? And they talk about the uncleanliness of the site, the job, and the fumes from surrounding attached or detached buildings of the company. I am calling on the Labor Department. I know sometimes they complain they don't have enough health inspectors, but you should hire them and train them. Because I can't tell you about Barbados, you know. People say, why you don't talk about Barbados? My daughter worked as an ergonomic inspector in Barbados. She worked at the Labor Department for 10 years. Go out and they don't wait for complaints, you know. Nobody complains out of it. You have these companies, you have health inspectors who are required to go and pay visit. In fact, it's better to go on a visit when they don't expect you. People sitting down on chairs that are broke down, sometimes no support for the back. And then you wonder later on why they always sick. They develop these ailments on the job, in the government service too. Poor air quality. So I'm calling on the chamber. There's the manufacturing sector of the chamber. I'm calling on the relevant people, you know. Please have a talk with your members. People sometimes only put up with it because there are very few jobs to go to. It isn't that they want to work under the conditions in which they exist.
Right.
And another thing, a number of the companies have reduced the wages of the workers, wages and salaries under the COVID. And now COVID gone, they got no Christmas bonus. Some of them no holiday pay. And the reduced wages continue. Well, I want to ask the chamber and the government and Honorable Marsha, who is the Minister of Labor, Sister Marsha, check into this thing. This thing can't be continuing forever. As we all know, the cost of living has gone up exceedingly. Well, you made some savings because the government reduced the corporation tax. The workers are suffering, and please have them check them as soon as possible.
All right, then.
We admire what you're doing for tourism, but if the workers are disgruntled and uncomfortable, it leads to lower productivity. So I'm calling on these factories. Clean the place.
All right, then.
You leave your house in the morning, you come into a place, more dust. Bathroom facilities need changing and fixing. The wages, the allowances, the benefits that are removed because of COVID. Don't you think it is time that you begin to reinstate them? If you can't do it fully, give an increase and explain when. Because if you had signed up a mortgage or loan repayment, the bank ain't want to hear nothing, you know. They want their money. So on behalf of the workers of the Federation, where the Sakers and Nevis, some hotels everybody taking advantage of the workers. And that trades and labor union down there, well, they will do less now because they will end back up on the government payroll. That's what happened in 1995. They have less impetus, less
All right,
vigor
caller. Well, caller,
to
thank you.
work for the workers.
Thank you for your contribution. We do want to take some more calls. All right, then.
All right.
All right, thank you.
When people were listening, I will do something to improve the environment under which our people work.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution. Let's take a break to give a shout out to our sponsors. When we come back, we'll take some more calls right here on 98.9.
What has you so happy?
My home internet just got upgraded, and I didn't even have to pay for it.
What? Which network you have?
Flow.
Now I can get the fastest fiber internet in St. Kitts and Nevis for the lowest price.
Fastest internet for the lowest price? What's the catch?
No catch, my friend. 100 megabits per second for just $135 a month. With Flow, you truly get the best internet experience around. Switch to Flow for the fastest fiber internet at the lowest price. Visit a Flow store today. Conditions apply.
Tea time, calling night, noon and morning. Tasty biscuit, just can't resist it. Tea time, calling night, noon and morning. Tasty biscuit, just can't resist it.
You can dunk it, you lick it, you taste it, you spin it, you twist it, you can mix them all together. It don't get any better. You can dunk it, you lick it, you taste it, you spin it, you twist it, you can mix them all together. It don't get any better. Anytime, whatever time. It's tea time. Whatever time. It's tea time. Snack on a delicious tea time biscuit anytime. It's tea time.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Welcome back to Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or 662-0989. It is Voices for Monday, March 27, 2023. We want to hear from you. On the... Forgive me, sorry. We're talking about today the People's Labour Party. They have announced their annual convention, and this comes on the heels of the announcement. This comes on the heels of the two resignations that took place over the weekend. I think it was Friday and Saturday. Mrs. Byron Nisbet and the party's deputy, and Mr. Guiu, the party's central master candidate who contested the August 2022 elections. As I said, there has been a lot of talk. We had a discussion here on Saturday, and an interesting point was made that the caller reiterated moments ago when she said parties, they have the up and down moments, and so there is going to be a time when you are on a high. Your party is performing well, you're in government, you've won 2, 3, 4 elections or whatever, and there will be a time when your party is, I don't want to use the word irrelevant, but you're losing steam. The party is losing steam. And so we've seen that in St. Kitts Nevis politics and politics generally across the Caribbean region, where you hear about a political party or a politician for quite some time, and then after a while they probably take a walk in the wilderness, and that's about it. And so that was one of the points that were made in response to the question, what does this mean for the future of PLP? At the same time, I think people are looking forward to the upcoming annual convention for the party, and perhaps trying to understand, or maybe they just want to see, I know, who the new executive officers are going to be. Will it be a reshuffle? Will it be complete new faces? Those questions, I think, are relevant. At the same time, people have been questioning whether or not Dr. Timothy Harris will step down as the party's leader. And if he does, again, the question, what does this mean for PLP? Because no, their deputy leader, who I think many people thought would have been on the scene for quite some time in terms of politics, has resigned. So that is I think that sent shockwaves across St. Kitts and Nevis. And so again, the question, what does it mean for the party? What's the way forward for them? How they're going to get out of the situation? But I'm not a politician. I've been around politics, but I'm not a politician. So I guess those who are within the party will know what decision they can make to move their party forward. This is the season of conventions, so perhaps we'll be hearing about more conventions coming up very soon for the political parties here in St. Kitts and Nevis. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 4660989 or at 6620989. That's 4660989 or 6620989. But that is the question. People will want to know what's going on, what's the hold up. It will be interesting. It will be very, very interesting. I want to share with you pieces of the statement that Guio issued. He wrote a letter which was dated 25 March 2023, and it was addressed to Warren Thompson, who is the chairman of the party. And Guio in his letter said, it is with a heavy heart that I write to formally tender my resignation from the People's Liberal Party. He says he remains committed. I remain committed, and I'm quoting now, I remain committed to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis and will continue to do so within my power. I will continue to do everything, within my power to advocate for their interests. However, over the last few months, I've seen a great deterioration of the values of the party and the eradication of democracy, a principle that is of great importance to me. After much deliberation and discussion, it is clear that the current leadership of the People's Labour Party does not respect the core values of the party. That was piece of his statement. He went on to say that after much deliberation, it is rather unfortunate that as a party we continue to engage in a level of disrespect and disregard of which I want no part. Regardless of this decision, I will continue to work assiduously within my constituency to fulfill my role as a community leader. Now, here at WINNFM, we've been trying to reach Dr. Timothy Harris, PLP's leader, for comment, but we've been unsuccessful. We'll keep trying to reach him. We want to have a conversation with him. There is a lot to talk about. I also extended an invitation to Dr. Timothy Harris, and so there is an open invitation for Dr. Harris to join us right here on WINNFM 98.9, whether it be on Voices or Inside the News or any other program, we want to have a conversation with you, Dr. Harris, on things taking place in the political scene, on the political scene. Sorry, what's going on with your party, the People's Labour Party? What can we see from Dr. Harris in a few years as the parliamentary representative for St. Christopher? I think it is 7. And so we want to hear from you. We want to have a conversation with you, Dr. Harris. So if you're listening, please answer our call. We want to have a conversation with you on what is going on in our St. Kitts Nevis politics. Guys, we will break at 12 for the headline news. And of course, when we come back, we will be continuing the conversation for today. We'll acknowledge our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll wrap it up.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Breathe easy. With the holidays just over, and lots of fun spent on holiday supplies, activities and gifts, how are your finances? If your answer wasn't favorable, TDC Financial Services is here to help you breathe easy. Up to $40,000 unsecured to consolidate your loans and even get a little something in your hand. No need to worry. Visit our social media pages or call 465-6516 or 469-5430 to learn more on how you can breathe easy with TDC Financial Services Limited. Terms and conditions apply.
Please note that the TDC Financial Services Company Limited, St. Kitts branch, is now located on Central Street in Bastyr, opposite the Norwich Holiness Church.
You hear that? That's unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging with Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plan.
Music to my ears. I can do everything in it?
Yep, all you want. Have endless fun when you activate a 7-day plan for just $25. Enjoy 10 gigs of endless data for all your pics, GIFs, stickers, voice notes, voice calls, docs, and even video calls. Do all you want with unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook messaging on Flow's unlimited super combo prepaid plans. Switch to Flow today. Conditions apply.
Check it out.
Welcome back to Voices right here on Win FM 98.9. Listen to the phone lines and we'll take some more calls. Caller, you are on the air. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning again, everyone. Suppose everybody sleepy from last night. What time you think finish? Up to 1 o'clock I hear music.
I think they had an after party. Like a little jam session after.
So you must imagine all the children spread up on the desk this morning in school.
Probably so.
If they, you understand what I'm saying? To wake up in time to get to school for 8 something. After you finish morning, as we say. Now, I am asking a serious question. Have we been so conditioned to murder that it doesn't seem to raise our interest? Just last week, was it Friday? In Stapleton.
Yeah.
I am saying to myself, we talk about everything else. I mean, 2 young persons were shot to death. And as if nothing, well, it just let us back again. Is that our attitude? I was there doing my maths and stats. When it's wrong, it's wrong. But I am saying, for the first quarter, how many homicides have we had?
I don't know the number off the top of my head. I'll have to do a quick check, but I don't know.
It's about 6, right? How many in Nevis?
Maybe two? Oh,
You got to be up on these things, man. You got to come a
I think it's
statistician.
like two or three. But I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, because I started adding, and doing projections, I said, hell with it. We cool and we cool and we calm as if we hear, well, a car knocked down two sheep. Or a car and two cattle collide. Life continues as if nothing happened. Young people, Young people. And we go our merry way. I want to know what are our plans. No matter how we classify them. The point is this. If things begin to, wait until it's out of hand to deal with it. What exactly is going on, we need to know. The Prime Minister went to a meeting the other day. I think it was in Grenada.
Yeah,
the RSS.
RSS meeting.
Yes. What exactly? I noticed that the advisor to his ministry in terms of Homeland Security was not there.
Is there still an advisor in the ministry, though? That's the question.
Yes. I think the other day he spoke at some function or the other.
Oh, okay.
I remember I had asked the question, and I think somebody answered and said yes. So I want to know what exactly is going on. Why are we so indifferent? We have a lot of our nice people. Our nice people they want to get all the black people together. Well, the young people in the same is black. Those who are being faced with extinction. I mean, it bothers me, I said, like I learned from a friend in Barbados that Barbados has a way of hiding. They don't highlight their crime because they're a tourist destination. So they will never have it on the front page. Never. Somewhere in the middle or in the back. So are we doing that?
Question.
I mean, Jamaica have their own hours out of order, and they're on the news. You put on TVJ news every day. They tell you how many get killed, how they get killed, or whatever. What is it? Are we saying because they come from St. Peter's they don't have any value? What are they fighting over? So we go on our merry way, and we leave people grieving. And we have some people out there waiting their turn to take revenge. What are we doing about it? I want to hear from the police. The other day, I guess it was on the news, the police in their stop and search arrested someone from that same area having his gun and 14 bullets, Mr. Elwit. He was going to hunt monkeys. I mean, we got to wake up. Devon, are you satisfied with that? With what's going on?
Well, I've been following what's happening. It's really unfortunate.
How do you feel about it?
It's really unfortunate, and it is never a good look. It is never a good thing. I could only imagine how the families are coping with having to lose their loved ones. My hope is for the situation to, I don't want to say get under control, because I don't want it to be said that I'm saying that it is out of control, but for the police to come out and say something and solve these murders, and at the same time for the community to offer any assistance that they can to help the situation.
I agree with you because they know who.
All right then, caller.
They
Well,
know who.
we're gonna have to break for the headline news. So let me
Yes,
thank you
I
so
want
much
to hear
for
on
your
the police,
contribution.
the security advisor, the prime minister.
All right then. Thank you so much, caller, for your contribution to this program. We'll now break for the headline news, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation right here on 98.9. Let's take this break, and we will be right back.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and NHC.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International. By land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
NHC is helping you to pay less in 2023. Having difficulties keeping up to date with your mortgage? Make an appointment to speak with your account manager today and learn how you can pay less. Our refinancing program will give you the opportunity to pay as low as $300 a month. Call us 466-4701 or visit our office at East Park Range. Pay less. Worry less with NHC refinancing program that's designed with you in mind. Offer valid from February 1st to June 30th.
With over a century of perfection behind the Mackeson name, a smooth blend with perfect balance and richness, it's no wonder Mackeson Triple Stout has a legacy of perfection. Enjoy the world over. Introducing our new look with the same great taste. Mackeson. All hail the king.
Please drink responsibly.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
With the Win Midday News, I am Devon Cornelius. In our headlines, locally, PLP to host annual convention. Across the region, former government minister released from U.S. prison returns to Barbados. Internationally, Afghan teenage girls broken after being barred from attending school under Taliban. The details of these stories and more straight ahead. The People's Labour Party PLP has announced its annual convention set to take place by June 27, 2023. According to a statement by the PLP issued on Monday, March 27th, the executive members of the party met last Thursday to discuss the holding of its annual convention. The statement said, quote, "The National Executive Committee recognized that the term of all the executive members except that of the National Party leader and Deputy National Party leader expires on Monday, March 27, 2023. The National Party leader thanked all officers for their service over the last year. To ensure that the annual National Convention is held in accordance with the party's constitution, the National Executive passed a resolution mandating a 7-member National Convention Planning and Implementation Committee 2023 to ensure that the annual National Convention is held by the 27th of June 2023. End quote. PLP's announcement of its annual convention comes on the heels of 2 resignations. Akila Byron Nisbet, the party's deputy, and Nubian Griot, the party's candidate for Central Bastia.
This is the Carib Update News Service. I am Wendy Chateau reporting. St. Vincent's Prime Minister says fired Vincentian public servants will still get their full benefits even if his government wins an appeal of a court ruling in their favor. This is the big story we're tracking this hour on Monday, March 27, 2023. Details of this story and more straight ahead. Now for the details. St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves says workers who lost their jobs after refusing to be vaccinated will still get their benefits even if his government wins an appeal against the court judgment. The Gonsalves administration says it will appeal a recent court ruling that said the workers were wrongfully dismissed, ordering both their reinstatement and reimbursement. Hundreds of public servants and their allies last week protested the government's intention to appeal what their unions had described as a historic victory. But at a public rally in Kingstown on Sunday night, Prime Minister Gonsalves said the matter needed to be tested through the courts.
And I tell you this, if the government gets this stay and we win the appeal, I will still make sure that they get their benefits, but I have to put the matter clearly as to what represents the law in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The Vincentian leader appealed to the workers to return to their jobs in the interim.
Don't be stubborn. Don't allow anybody to mislead you. You can come back while the case, the appeal still goes on, and if, in fact, we get the stay in the execution of the judgment.
But Gonsalves, who is also a lawyer, insisted that the court judgment awarding the workers was wrong. An American couple has been kidnapped from a bus in Haiti and are being held for ransom, their family members have said. Joe Dickens Toussaint, 33, and his wife Abigail Toussaint from Tamarack, Florida, were in Haiti to see ailing relatives and attended a festival when they were abducted on a bus ride from the capital Port-au-Prince last Saturday. The kidnappers initially demanded $6,000 for the couple's release, but once the money was sent, the miscreants raised the price to $200,000 per person. A family friend who met the couple at the airport to escort them was also reportedly kidnapped. 2 migrants found an unconventional way to make a 90-mile journey from Cuba to Florida after they landed at the Key West International Airport on a motorized hang glider. The migrants landed at the airport on the weekend, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office said in a statement, and were subsequently turned over to the U.S. Border Patrol. Pilot Nick Pontecorvo told Local 10 News that he saw the hang glider from the air. The duo was not seriously injured, the statement said, releasing minimal details about their flight. This is Newsbreak from the Carib Update News Service. In more news, former Barbados Government Minister Donville Innes, who has returned home after serving prison time in the United States, says he has no immediate plans to return to active politics, but he has not completely ruled it out either. Innes, who was convicted of money laundering in the United States, returned home late Friday after spending 2 years in prison. The 57-year-old former MP, who resided in Tampa, Florida, was convicted in January 2020 after a 1-week trial on one count of conspiracy to commit money laundering and 2 counts of money laundering related to his laundering of $36,000. Prosecutors said he moved bribe payments from the Insurance Corporation of Barbados through a New York dental company between 2015 and 2016. Innes served a shortened sentence for good behavior.
Now, I know at the end of the day, your question is really, will I run for office again? I think that is not on my horizon at this point in time. I hold the view. When we got defeated in 2018, my attitude was to thank the people of St. James South for the confidence they had reposed in me in the prior 10 years, to congratulate the lady who won, took over from St. James South, and to wish her all the best going forward, and to get on with my life. And I don't know that attitude has changed at all. So I am not about thinking about running as a candidate again, or getting involved in the leadership of a party, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, the good Lord will decide where I go and how I get there.
Former Barbados MP Donville Innes. This has been another edition of Newsbreak from the Carib Update News Service, the Caribbean's newsroom. I am Wendy Chateau reporting.
Now, another school year started this weekend in Afghanistan, but teenage girls were forced to stay at home. The Taliban government has barred girls and women from secondary schools and university in Afghanistan, the only government in the world to do so. The BBC's South Asia correspondent Yugita Lemay reports.
As a new school year begins, Afghan women out on the streets again. Risking violence and detention, they are marching for teenage girls who've been denied this, the most basic of human rights: going to school, meeting friends, getting an education. Look what it's doing to them. When I see my brother going to school, I feel sad and broken, says Tamanna. He used to say, I won't go without you. I'd hug him and tell him I'd join later. I had hoped the Taliban would change their minds. Almost every Afghan girl we've spoken to has broken down within minutes of talking about school. Habiba says she doesn't believe Taliban claims that the closure is temporary. These girls used to be in the same class. Occasionally, they forget their grief when they reminisce about school life, how they pranked a new teacher or joked in drama class. Education has never come easy. Mahtab was injured in a school bombing that killed more than 80 before the Taliban took over, but she was determined to study.
Life has no meaning without education. I think death would be better. If the restrictions on women get more and more intense, I don't think this life is worth living.
With each day that goes by, the hopes they had are fading. Yogita Lamai, BBC News.
Well, Yugita joins us now from Mumbai. Yugita, are the girls that you spoke to able to get any kind of education at home or privately, even if it's underground, effectively?
Well, a really small fraction of girls in Afghanistan are able to go online and try to continue their studies. There are people who are running secret schools, so they're often, in the basement or hidden away from the Taliban government. But, this is really a very sort of tiny fraction of people. It isn't. Afghanistan's also in an economic crisis right now, so it's not possible for a lot of families to actually spend money on getting an internet connection or getting books or things that they might have earlier gotten free at a regular public school. And the reason, these girls, when we ask them, do you believe Taliban claims that the closure is only temporary? And the reason they say no is because you've just got to look at the context of what's happened in the country in the past 6 to 8 months. The restrictions on women increasing. In November, when we were there, public places like parks, gyms, swimming pools, women were barred from that. In December, a crushing blow was delivered when female students were told that they can't go to university anymore. And now women are not being allowed to work in domestic or international NGOs except in the health sector. So given all of that, the secondary school ban was the first thing that happened literally a month after the Taliban seized power in 2021. But given all of that's happened now, hopes of schools or universities reopening are really fading.
And in terms of, the long-term prospects of these girls, where does that leave them? Because if you have, even one generation who is not educated, that affects their ability to work, as well as obviously we're seeing the sort of huge distress that we're seeing in your report.
And it's not just education. If you do not have female doctors and female nurses, health is going to suffer, because in Afghanistan, women would usually, when they go to a hospital, prefer to speak to a female doctor or a female nurse. So, it isn't just about studies. It is about their access to health, their right to a life as well. What we know, what's quite clear when we speak to Taliban leaders, is that there is a division within the Taliban government. There is a section that believes that girls should be allowed to study. But so far, what we are seeing is that even if that section believes it, and if they're making efforts towards it, those have not yielded results.
Donald Trump has opened his campaign to win back the US presidency by railing against the dark forces he says are lined up against him. At a rally in the US state of Texas, Mr. Trump claimed the multiple legal investigations into his conduct and finances were straight out of a Stalinist Russia horror show. Shelley Phelps reports.
Dressed for the occasion, die-hard Donald Trump fans turned out in their thousands for this air-filled rally in the Texan city of Waco. The legal threats hanging over the former president at the forefront of some of their minds.
If Trump got arrested for the charges they're talking about now, I would vote for him 10 times over, okay? Because if he was a Democrat, it would never come up.
Donald Trump is for America, and he fights for Americans. The far left doesn't like that, and so that's why they keep attacking him.
It was his first public appearance since speculating a week ago that he would soon be arrested. New York prosecutors are investigating alleged hush money payments made on Donald Trump's behalf to former adult film star Stormy Daniels. Addressing the crowd, he claimed it's been orchestrated by President Biden.
The District Attorney of New York, under the auspices and direction of the Department of Injustice in Washington, D.C., was investigating me for something that is not a crime, not a misdemeanor, not an affair.
Donald Trump went on to cast the 2024 presidential vote in apocalyptic terms, using language that some analysts warned could be dangerous.
And if you look at what President Trump said tonight, things like, if we don't win in 2024, we won't have a country, it'll be over, World War III, take our country back. These are things that he knows are whistles to this crowd, and he's trying to rile them up, which is unfortunate because we saw on January the 6th that riling this base up caused violence and death.
Donald Trump insists he still has a bright political future ahead of him, but he'll need to overcome some pretty big legal and electoral challenges in order to achieve it. Shelley Phelps, BBC News.
President Biden has declared a major emergency in the state of Mississippi, where a tornado has left hundreds homeless. This is the moment on Friday when the wind barreled through a school in the area, and you could see that happening, captured on CCTV cameras just inside. And these are the latest drone pictures after the tornado struck, carving a path of destruction at 170 miles long. We know at least 25 people were killed in Mississippi and 1 person in Alabama. Dozens have been injured. Our North America correspondent Sophie Long reports from Mississippi.
This is Rolling Fork, a small, close community in Mississippi. There is little left. They've lost loved ones, their homes, everything.
We get storms like bad rain or, probably high winds or something, but we never experience nothing like this where it can wipe out a whole town. Schools, children, parents, loved ones. It wiped out everything.
These girls said they came back to look for their belongings. They didn't find much.
This is what remains of people's homes here in Rolling Fork. You can see washing machines, signs of a life that took place here before. The tornado struck in the middle of the night. Many people were sleeping. You can imagine just how terrifying that must have been.
It meant many didn't hear the alerts.
Oh, man. Dear Jesus, please help them.
And seeing how the tree was blowing, and ran in the bathroom, closed the door, and jumped in the tub.
Francisco said the only warning he had was the noise of the wind, a sound that will haunt him forever.
It was terrifying, and it's like something that I never want to go through again. I don't want to experience that again in their life. But I made it through there, but it was scary.
He survived by sheltering in his bathroom, the only bit of the house that's still partially standing. There is some long-term resentment here. Mississippi is the poorest state in America, and some feel forgotten by leaders in the nation's capital.
Excuse my language, damn, you forgot about us? Just because we are the last in everything, you forgot about us? That's not right. That is very heart-wrenching, other than we lost everything, and we feel that we don't have support from the superior people also.
President Biden described what happened here as heartbreaking and said he and the First Lady are praying for those who had lost loved ones. But people here are asking for more than prayers and emergency relief. They want long-term support. Sophie Long, BBC News, Rolling Fork, Mississippi.
Help has started pouring into one of the most deprived areas of the United States after it was devastated by the violent tornado that smashed through around 100 miles of Mississippi. Recovery crews have begun digging through and dismantling the twisted piles of wood and metal that only days ago were homes and businesses. From Rolling Fork, here's our North America correspondent Sophie Long.
From the air, you can see the direct path of destruction cut by the tornado. People who survived it say it was as big as the town itself and turned the whole sky black. Some trees have been stripped of their branches and uprooted. Others are totally untouched. As you drive into Rolling Fork, you can see the extent to which this community has been devastated.
Salvage what I can.
As survivors sift through what remains of their homes in the hope of salvaging something, they're still coming to terms with what's happened here.
I'm seeing little kids, hurting, seeing little kids, seeing all them people hurt. So I did what I could, help move a couple trees, help pull a couple people from tight spots.
Darryl wasn't able to save his own uncle, who was in his trailer home when it was picked up and smashed to the ground.
He'd be hollering, "Come on, my favorite nephew." He'll tell you that, then he'll get around the oven. "Come on, my favorite nephew." He gonna be missed. He gonna be missed by all the Rolling Fork cause
everybody know him.
Everybody know him, and even though he got on their nerves, they loved him.
In the immediate aftermath of the tornado, Rolling Fork was eerily quiet. People were visibly dazed, trying to comprehend what had happened to their town. Now there is activity everywhere, with people just starting to try to clear some of the debris, get trees off cables so they can hopefully restore some power. This is the very beginning of the recovery operation, but as you can see, the task is enormous. This was the most deadly tornado to hit Mississippi in half a century. President Biden has promised to provide the support they need to rebuild, but there are fears there could be more ahead.
We see extreme weather events increasing, only increasing in gravity, in severity, and in frequency. And we have to build our communities to be best prepared for them, to prevent the devastation to the extent possible, to be able to quickly respond and recover, to prove ourselves resilient.
The thunderstorm that followed was a prescient reminder of that. It will be a long road to recovery for Rolling Fork. Sophie Long, BBC News, Mississippi.
Well, that's the view of Rolling Fork after the tornado from the ground. Let's just show you these pictures from before and after. They're satellite images of the town. This image is taken in most of the town a few days before the tornado struck. You can see just how normal, how orderly everything looks. And then let's take a look at the contrast to the scene after the tornado hit. Well, as you can see, houses, buildings totally devastated, trees blown over. It looks more like a scene from a war film, really. And here's Rolling Fork seen closer up from above. Again, this is before the damage caused by the extreme weather. Again, the same buildings after the tornado, reduced to the brick foundations, little more than piles of rubble. Devastating scenes there in Rolling Fork.
That's it for this edition of WINNFM's Midday News. But before we go, let's recap our top stories. Locally, PLP to host annual convention. Across the region, former government minister released from U.S. prison returns to Barbados. Internationally, Afghan teenage girls broken after being barred from attending school under Taliban. Thank you for listening.
That was the WINNFM Headline News. The Headline News is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, The Grange, KDP Enterprises, Carib Brewery, and NHC.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
NHC is helping you to pay less in 2023. Having difficulties keeping up to date with your mortgage? Make an appointment to speak with your account manager today and learn how you can pay less. Our refinancing program will give you the opportunity to pay as low as $300 a month. Call us 466-4701 or visit our office at East Park Range. Pay less, worry less with NHC refinancing program that's designed with you in mind. Offer valid from February 1st to June 30th.
When it comes to the important things in life, your health, your education, your choice of a life partner, and of course your insurance provider, only the best will do. Caribbean Alliance Insurance is the only insurance company in the Eastern Caribbean with an A excellent rating. We have a robust 3-tier reinsurance strategy that protects our policyholders from multiple catastrophes, even if they occur in quick succession. We spread our risks over 18 territories, ensuring minimal impact to individual territories when a disaster strikes. We provide an excellent claims experience. Claim settlement is usually between 24 to 48 hours. Our A excellent rating means that you are more secure with us. Contact us for motor, property, marine, public liability, employer's liability, and other policies. Delisle Walwyn, people you can trust. Local agent for Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Tomorrow secured.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Nevis is now online, providing simple and convenient services to pay your loan anywhere at any time. It begins with you logging on to our website, www.skndb.com. Click the online payment option, select request access, input your personal information, and submit payment. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yes, we've made it easier for you to pay your loan anytime, anywhere. The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, making a sustained positive difference in your life.
King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas, announces king-size savings on shipments from Miami to St. Kitts. We have the best service and competitive rates on LCL and FCL cargo, including D&E containers, cars, heavy equipment, buses, boats, and barrels from Miami to St. Kitts. LCL pickup service anywhere in the U.S. Call local agents SL Horseman and Company Limited at 869-465-4086 or 869-662-5008 for further details. King Ocean's king-size savings on shipments from Miami to St. Kitts Nevis. King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas.
Welcome back to Voices right here on WinFM 98.9. Let's head back to the phone lines and we're going to be taking some more calls. Caller, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Devon.
How are you doing today?
I'm pretty okay. Just a bit disappointed at your WinFM news. I thought that the headline would have been Star journalist dismisses claims by acclaimed statistician based on what happened on Saturday when you investigated exactly what the truth was. Okay? So apart from that, though, everything is good. I think what's different this time, yes, parties rise and parties fall. They get soundly defeated and then they regroup for next time. But I think what is different with the PLP is that it was essentially centered around one person. Okay? And once people start to desert that ship, you can't run a ship with one person. Maybe a small boat, but not a ship. And so, unless there are going to be new alliances and so on formed, I don't think that the PLP can make a comeback, especially since it was basically formed, the rationale for its existence was essentially coalition with other partners. And you see how that turned out, okay? And you also see who was at fault with that. So, I mean, having been burnt once, it's unlikely that anybody is going to let themselves be burnt again by forming some kind of alliance with the PLP, right? And I don't think they had enough time to get a sufficiently large base to really survive what is essentially a really thrashing by its own members. You know, it's interesting that both persons who have deserted the PLP had the same concerns. And you can bet your life if two key people who had it, there are others who had it as well. And that concern, values, and principles, they were never addressed. And so it's unlikely that there's anything else substantial to keep people aligned to that party and for other people to gravitate towards it. It just isn't there. Okay? You can't, for instance, say that, well, we're the alternative Labour Party, right? When, if there's a Labour Party, you'd think that, generally speaking, the principles of all Labour parties are the same. But obviously, according to the people who are leaving, it was never about principles and values, okay? Or they said they strayed from that, okay? Whatever that means. And so I don't see the PLP making any comeback, right? I think most of the shall we say, the good things about the PLP was based on the fact that they were in government. And not only in government, but they had the prime ministership,
right,
which wielded a lot of power, right? Once that power is no longer there, it loses a big sense of attractiveness, you know, for most people, all right? And so I think that's the end of the PLP. We'll see when they have the convention and so on how big a convention, how big a following there will be. But I suspect in the meantime, you'll find more people deserting than actually coming in. So we wait and see what happens.
All right then, caller.
Okay then.
Thank you so much for your contribution to this program. This is Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or 662-0989. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Devon. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. What about you?
I'm doing good too.
Awesome.
I know you ain't went yet. Lunch?
No, not as yet.
Okay, what the guy say? Now, congratulations to the schools and that take part in the athletic sport yesterday. And from the winner to the loser. Because if you don't enter, you can't win. And you can't lose if you don't enter. And wishing me football, national football team tonight. I'm wishing them victory on the game tonight. We already reached far. And tonight decision will put us a little further. Now, I want to say to Oatley Jesus. Oatley Jesus, know what's going to happen tomorrow with the PLP? Well, I could tell Oatley Jesus this. If where Oatley Jesus used to work, and work was held back from some people who work in there, or who attend in there, and if that place of employment could continue, any other political party could continue. All it takes for them to do is be careful and give genuine examination to people who they got around them. Because somebody could smile with you for 364 days in a year, smile every day and say you look good, I like you. And the last day to conclude the year, you're surprised to see what they do with you, and they've been smiling with you for the whole year. So when Oatley Jesus going to come on and say, well, this ain't going to happen and this ain't going to rebound, Oatley Jesus, back where you never have nothing positive to say to the team unity when they were there. But you got all the ideas in the world and suggestion. Oatley Jesus, back where with that. He left for us to see if where Oatley Jesus used to work could continue and they fall, tumble down because of the negligence that Oatley Jesus put on for where Oatley Jesus used to work. Anything could come back. Thank you, Devon.
All right, caller. Thank you for your contribution to this program. It is at 12:48 here in the studios of 98.9. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or 662-0989. This is Voices for Monday, March 27, 2023. I'm Devon Cornelius and the phone lines are open. We want to hear from you, your views and opinions on this matter. The previous caller made an interesting point that has been made by a number of people who are or have been given their take or are giving their take on the whole situation. I think the question, well, I do understand and agree that, parties, they have their time. There's a time for you to shine. There's a time when you lose steam and, not much people are listening to you or following you. I think the concern or what people have been saying is the fact that, the PLP being relatively young, they're questioning whether or not the party has a base that it can fall back on. Let's head back to the phone lines. We'll take some more calls. Caller, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon again, Devon. Good afternoon, Mr. McMahon. How are we doing? An honest person acknowledge when they're wrong, isn't that so? Hey, Devon?
Sorry, repeat that.
An honest person admits when they are wrong.
That is true.
Didn't I thank you for the correction?
You did, yes.
Yeah. What you can't correct is the historical facts, It could be the party was known as Dr. Douglas Labour Party. Built around him, prominent members, Dwight Astapan, Timothy Harris, and Sam Kondo. Prominent members left, put out, walk away. And then the party go down to almost zero. I mean, honesty, historical fact that I told him before, this thing about ideology and principles, you need to go and check it out. Obviously, I think what will happen sometimes, some of us were not involved or interested in the local politics. We knew all about Trump and everybody else. We paid no attention all the years. So we just wake up. We just become interested, which is quite good, because he has been the main person speaking on behalf of the Labour Party, which is his right to do so. But when he lacked the historical facts. Now, I'm a bit held back by my loss of vision, right? Ask about me. No, if or no, maybe, you know. And if any of them can find the headlines for the murders, then they'll be lacking. The party, the Labour Party, was built around Dr. Denzel Douglas. That is why there is such a big uproar when certain elements decided he had to go. And they talk about principles. You certainly were not aware or awake. That has been the issue, you know. And ideology, forget it. Obviously, you don't understand what ideology means. I'm a Christian, I live by Christian principles. If you are a leader, you must lead with uncorrupted principles. We have known, I tell him, go and read the IMF reports. Read them. Go back to 1980, come up. You're retired now. The facts are the facts. The issue was with the same thing with Douglas, with Timothy. The party, your party, I tell you, you had all 8. That is the only party in this country, St. Kitts, that ever had all the seats. The only one in St. Kitts from 1993, from 2000, that all 8. And after that, let him explain what led to the decline. What's the matter? It's the same leadership, dictatorship. So I appreciate his intervention, but Mr. Please go and read the IMF report. You have time. Read the auditor's report, because they could run all about it. I promise you. You get any yet, Devon?
Or the IMF report?
Well, the IMF report is online, the auditor's report.
No, I haven't got an auditor's report.
I'm going to try and get somebody, but ask somebody who in Parliament now. You will see the deficit under them and all kind of imaginations. And a lot of what he says only party story, but they're not bound by facts. And I'm talking about facts that I work on.
All right then, caller.
So please, mister, take some time and go and investigate. You won't be making those kind of bold statements. Many people gave up on the Labour Party and rushed behind Timothy. What happened to the party then? You ain't bouncing back now. Please, find something to do.
All right, caller. Thank you for your contribution to this program. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls right here on 98.9. This is Voices for Monday, March 27, 2023. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, you are on the air. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cornelius. Could you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly. Go ahead.
How was your weekend, sir?
It was really good. What about you?
Well, I was blessed. I went to the house of the Lord. It's St. George's Anglican Church. That's where I attended, and I try to make myself every Sunday to be in there. Mr. Cornelius, what your program today is all about?
Well, we've been discussing the recent resignations from the People's Labour Party, and they have since announced that they will be having their annual convention by June of this year.
Okay. Mr. Cornelius, the reason why I said that, because I don't want to touch it. I don't know what went on or what's going on, but I have people inside there to know exactly what they are doing. If these two decided to step out, let us find some way and mean at bringing back the PLP. Because we have a bigger fish in this federation here to deal with, and we are not touching it, Mr. Cornelius. It is the Attorney General. He is not supposed to be in office passing laws and making laws. He commit a crime at the court, and he's not supposed to be in there. The Prime Minister should ask him to resign. You what the order said? Resign. Because he's supposed to be showing example. But instead of showing example, he's doing it his own way. And we only have 3 days syndrome in this federation, because we speak about something 3 days and we move on. Let us forget about the PLP and ask our question. What are the Attorney General doing still in office under the Prime Minister and the Senior Minister, which is Dr. Llewellyn Douglas? They should ask him to vacate office and bring in someone who they think fit to do his work. Because he's embarrassing St. day by day, and we are just only speaking certain things. And I want to tell Ms. Henry, keep it up, because your name is being all over the world about your education and educating the people of what's going on in St. Kitts and who all came here in the 1830s or whatever. You have a history of knowledge, and plenty of people like you, and some people want to bring you down. People like Mr. McMahon, he do not know what he wants. Tell him keep asking Mrs. Henry. Ms. Henry is a person have history in her head, and she's trying to educate our people. But let us ask the question, what are the Attorney General doing still in office? And that's my question for today. Have a good afternoon.
All right, Carter, thank you so much for your contribution to this program. This is Voices right here on WINNFM 98.9. It is just 2 minutes before the 1 o'clock hour here in the studio, and the phone lines are open. We are taking your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or 662-0989. Again, thank you so much for your contribution to this program. We'll take a short break to acknowledge our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation for today. We'll take this quick break and right back.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
This is your boy, Super Handy Andy, with your Super Handy Andy deals at Hostel's Building Center for the month of March. Mini blinds was $178.43, now $151.67. Flush valve repair kit was $78.61, now just $66.82. Eco tankless water heater was $18.46.41, now reduced to $15.69.79. Bathroom cabinet saver was $582.62, it's only now just $495.24. Freestanding closet was $554.91, it's now only $471.67. Super handy Andy deals at Hostel's Building Center for the month of March only, making home improvement easy.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 Win FM.
Horseroads Building and Nevis Centers are making lawn and garden easy. Come to Horseroads Building and Nevis Center now and get 25% off store-wide on our entire lawn and garden department. Yes! For the months of February and March, Horseroads Building Center and Nevis Center is making improving your lawn and garden easy with 25% off all garden supplies, garden equipment, garden accessories, including weed eaters, lawnmowers, and much more. Get 25% off all lawn and garden items happening now at Horseroads Building Center in St. Kitts and Nevis. Horseroads Building and Nevis Centers, making home improvement easy.
log on. The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis is now online, providing simple and convenient services to pay your loan anywhere at any time. It begins with you logging on to our website, www.skndb.com. Click the online payment option, select Request Access, input your personal information, and submit payment. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yes, we've made it easier for you to pay your loan anytime, anywhere. The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, making a sustained positive difference in your life.
Welcome back to the program. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take some more calls. Caller, good afternoon. You are on the air. Hello, caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yes, a pleasant good afternoon to you. How are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. What about you?
I'm excellent. I'm excellent.
Awesome.
Now, I'm just calling you to Mr. McMahon seems like he have a problem with PLP. He saying PLP, so he had a problem with, he have the problem with Timothy Harris because he gave him the letter that he was misusing in this country here. But he shouldn't vex with him because Douglas was over him. Gave him a letter. So, so he seems like he has a problem with because the man was leaving children them in the school and going to do another one. No wonder we have so much of wild children in this place that he wasn't teaching the children them. To do another work. Get it paid and ain't doing the work.
Well, caller,
he is a part of PLP.
Caller?
He have bigger fish in Labour Party to fry than PLP. PLP will be fine wherever Tim go. We will follow Tim. And if three gone, Tim is going to get three again. No one monkey spoils no show for PLP. We will be fine. So, Mr. McMahon, please go and seek for the Labour Party and leave PLP alone because we will be fine. We will be back. I know you ain't want us back, but we coming back. You have a blessed afternoon.
All right, caller. And thank you for your call to this program. It is 4 minutes past the 1 o'clock hour here in the studios of 98.9. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. That's 466-0989 or 662-0989. The phone lines are open and we want to get your contribution on certain things happening here in St. Kitts and Nevis. For the most part, the conversation seems to be centered around our local politics as it relates to the People's Labour Party. We know that there has been some resignations. The party's deputy leader, Akila Byron Nisbet, and another candidate, Nguyen Grill, have resigned. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Caller, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Yes, Governor. Good afternoon. Yes, I'm following events now for the past 12 or so weeks in regards to political unrest in Israel. And, it got to do with the justice system, the judiciary. And not long ago, I read a scripture from the Amos chapter 5, 14 and 14 to 16, 14 and 15. And what happened, in short, the Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, who have a more or less a right-wing government, he was indicted, and his presently a charge is presently pending against him. He now moved, say, doing judicial reform, and he have gone and take the authority from an independent body and put it under his government. Well, he not do it yet, but they were supposed to vote on it Wednesday coming. But before that happened, people took to the street. I must say, Israel, when you compare the democratic policy, way of life, and you compare it to our neighbors, far different, And one member of cabinet, that is the Minister of Defense, because he realized how popular the demonstrations have become, he told the Prime Minister, well, just put it on pause, because Israel have to be looking out and looking in at the same time. And apparently he fired his minister, who is a member of his own cabinet. It's his party. And so that add more fire to the situation. And the soldiers reserve all sector of Israel went on strike. And so now he is about to make an address. I believe he will change his mind. But I'm saying this to say, when it comes to justice, it's not to be played with. It's not to be played with. How you could move, want to take judiciary that's supposed to be independent and put it under government and say any decision made by the court, the parliament could change it. And the people in Israel have a right, because this is a direction to dictatorship. When you have a democracy, you must hold it with all your might. And if you are prepared to make this ultimate sacrifice, well, so be do it for generations. And I must congratulate the people of Israel for standing up. Standing up. Of course, they are all one when it comes to a common threat from the enemy. But do not play with the justice system. Do not play, do not mess with it. And so he's about to make an address now to the nation. He is presently before the court. This appears to be conflict of interest. And the people look at it as that. That would affect a nation. This should be country of ourselves. And so I read that scripture the other day in Amos chapter 5, verse 14 and 15. Because here in St. Kitts and Nevis, we need to get serious with our justice system, because there are too much delay, in my humble opinion. And where justice are delayed, justice is denied. And this, for me, is making grounds for criminal activities. And we must wake up to the realization. Look at Israel. We need to do better with our justice system here in our federation. Let justice run down like a stream. So I must congratulate the people of Israel because he would have to abandon that vote to reform the judiciary and put it into the hands of government, politicians, you could say. Thank you very much, Mr. Devon.
And thank you so much, Carlo, for your contribution to this program. This is Voices right here on 98.9. The phone lines are open and we are welcoming your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. We are also live on our social media platforms, so you can also check us out there. Again, the numbers are 466-0989 or 662-0989. This is Voices for Monday, March 27, 2023. If you're just joining the conversation and you're wondering what the topic is on, well, for the most part, people have been weighing in on our local politics with regards to the PLP. We have some more callers on the line, so we're going to head back to the phone lines and take them. Caller, good afternoon. You are on the air.
Greetings. Thanks for taking our call. Okay, the month of March is on. Yeah, we want to pick up our March born picnic. The ladies and the credits are done. We're celebrating to the blessed out there. We want to remind all and sons, Bible-wise, Israel is not a land, Israel is a man. And that man is the twin brother of Esau. His name was Jacob. See me? There's never a land named Israel. I want to repeat it. It's a man. Jacob name changed to Israel. So let me get it right according to the Bible. We hear every family talk about the killing, And we want to remind everyone, that the polite violence, the murdering without shedding blood still a go on, and why is that going on?
All right, well, caller, you did say, firstly, thank you for your contribution, and secondly, you did say that you were warned about your credit, so if you get an opportunity, you can call us back at 466-0989 or 662-0989. We'll take a quick break to acknowledge our sponsors, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation for today.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Here are your Horseplus Value Mart IGA specials for March 23rd through April 5th. Now, our Value Club Blue Tag specials. Almond Breeze, almond milk, just $9.99. Essential Everyday Salsas, just $9.99 each. Gatorade, $8.99. Country Cock Margarine, $27.99. Super Chill Sodas are just $6.99. Essential Everyday Freezer Bags, just $7.99. And now, our very low weekly value deals. IGA and Essential Everyday Chunk Light Tuna, Water and Oil, $3.49. IGA and Essential Everyday Cornflakes, $8.99. Arm & Hammer Liquid Detergent, $19.99. Dawn Dish Liquid Detergent, $13.99. Arm & Hammer Deodorant, $7.99. VO5 Shampoo and Conditioner, just $5.49. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
The Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis is now online, providing simple and convenient services to pay your loan anywhere at any time. It begins with you logging on to our website, www.skndb.com. Click the online payment option, select Request Access, input your personal information, and submit payment. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yes, we've made it easier for you to pay your loan anytime, anywhere.
We're the Development Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, making a sustained positive difference in your life.
Welcome back. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take some more calls. Caller, you're on the air. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon again, Devon. Now, I want to ask a question. It has been on my mind. Now, the last time that the water engineer was, I think it was at your station, or somewhere else, wherever it was, he said that they have to pay Marriott $30 for 100,000 gallons.
You're asking me that?
Yeah, do you remember that?
I don't. I'm sorry.
Right, he was looking at it. We pay $20 for the 100,000, and the government turn around and pay Marriott 30,000. I said to myself, the people who live in Frigate Bay, Half Moon, and Peninsula, they are in the top income bracket. They are now in the process of having talks about increasing the rate. I have no problem with that. But I am saying, since it is now costing the government $30, shouldn't the rate be raised for those people? I want to know what Mr. Miller think about it. Because we complain about subsidizing things for poor people, and we are giving to the better off people subsidies. And I really don't see any reason why the Marriott should be charging us so much when they are benefiting from the country. Have they begun to pay the accommodation tax and the food and drinks tax? There has to be a give and take. You see what I'm saying, Devon?
I'm following you, yeah.
Because you're not putting more pressure on the government. Why charge $30 compared to the $20 that the ordinary people pay? And getting it free. Because they're paying $20, so every time the bill comes, whatever they use, they get $10 free. And if we're serious about helping the poor, which I always question, that's a slogan. I want to know, and I want an answer. Mr. McMahon, check it out for me. I'm serious or no? I've been thinking about this several weeks. These people could afford to pay the $30. But we're busy planning and scheming of trying to convince poor people that the $20 is too low, given their already low income status. So that is the question I'm asking. Shouldn't the people receiving the water from Marriott be made to pay the $30 for 100,000 gallons? They can afford it. All right, then.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution to this program. Thank you for your call. It is 18 minutes past the 1 o'clock hour. This is Voices for Monday, March 27, 2023. I'm your host for today, Devon Cornelius. Again, thank you so much for joining the conversation for today. The phone lines are open and we're taking your calls at 466-0989 or 662-0989. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, Devon. Just let me turn this down. Yeah. What Mrs. Henry asked, right, about the Marriott and people in Frigate Bay should be paying more. She got to remember that water is not a luxury, you know. Right? It is not a luxury. What I agree should happen, if you use over a certain threshold amount, that you should be paying higher. You see what I mean? But to say To me, that's discriminating against a particular set of residents, right? You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I'm following you, call. I see where you're going.
Yeah, right. And so because you see, if you start going down that road, then what you're actually doing is going down. You don't know where it will end. Next thing she'll start to say that, well, if you own 2 cars, then you should pay, exorbitant amount. I agree basically that the people with the largest burden, with the larger income, and who can afford it, should pay more, right? But you have to be careful if you're going to adopt that as a policy, and you're going to be consistent throughout and determine, well, who else can afford to pay more, right? So just remember that water is not a luxury. And one thing that she keeps saying, that I am for the like a one-party state. I am sure every time I talk about political arrangement, I always say that we should have an alternative. I'm not in a one-party state with nobody, okay? That is not democratic. We should have an alternative. So I wish you would stop maligning my political views like that, okay? And the thing about that, the point I made about her being wrong with the election figures, the results, is that nobody is infallible. Everybody can make mistakes, including her, right? And if she's wrong on this, she's probably wrong on other things as well, or she could be wrong on other things as well. She keeps referring, for instance, to the IMF report. Regardless of what the IMF report says, look at the growth rate. We've had good, steady growth since independence. Never, the 1 or 2 blips that we had when we had negative growth, the next year we had even much higher growth rate. So this, I don't know what she said. Is she trying to refute the fact that the Labour Party has been, in terms of accomplishment, monumental achievements, they have done more for the country than the other parties? That's irrefutable. Part of it, of course, is because they've been in power longer as well, for longer periods. But don't try and rewrite history. That's what I'm saying. Don't try to rewrite history. And don't try and pull wool over people's eyes by saying, go read them IMF report and audit report, etc., etc. People live here. Some people are as old as or older than her and know the history. Okay? So all I'm saying is when you come on, be fair, be consistent, be factual, all right? And forget about your biases as you try to educate people. Okay, then.
All right, Colin, thank you so much for your contribution to this program. It is 1:23 in the studio here, and the phone lines are open. Call us at 466-0989 or 662-0989. Let's head back to the phone lines, and we'll take this call. You are on the air, caller. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Cornelius.
Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah. A couple callers back alluded to what he deemed terms polite violence. I have listened to that caller repeatedly on the topic of polite violence. And in recent times, we have seen the potential escalation of homicides, not just restricted to Sinkers and Nevis, but we must have concern before we have concern anywhere else. But we are regions, and even, let's say, St. Lucia, we have seen the spike has been risen. And being destinations of predators, that is a concern. My observation with administrations, as government is one, but there's administrations, new faces, and the Prime Minister did allow St. Nevis, the Prime Minister Dr. Jew, did allow St. Nevis for making strides in curtailing violence. He did allow it, even though he did not say that observation was because of the former administration, but be it as it may, anyone who holds the seat of Prime Minister, they will have to take credit for the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so I observed that he did a lot. We had made strides in curtailing crime and violence and so. And one would argue that the peace program is there, it's founded, but some tweaking has to be to it. What I'm getting at and where I'm going from the caller, polite violence, and the last two homicides, two young men just recently, probably Saturday morning, it is a cause for alarm. And is it a priority for this administration to continue on the strides according to the Prime Minister? And we all know that it was a more peaceful time. And given recent findings that St. Nevis is one of the top 10, because of our small population, we would fit that description. Even though it seems unfair to categorize St. here and there because of certain little uptick here and there from time to time. This is a concern where I need to see this administration put more priority in terms of continuing something that has worked, tweaking it, and let's really try to get into the minds of our youth that this is not the road. This is not the road to go down, because we will all die. All of us will die. And whenever a homicide occurs, it seems like it's a small community like ours, it's spread, and everybody feel hyped about it. Everybody feel hyped. It becomes a household thing, a household word, a household in thing, where everybody feel boasted now. The young men them feel boasted to pick up the gun again. And the like. So I need to see this administration have homicide crime at the top, at the zenith of their administration, as to really get things done. We have seen a few, and I have not heard much from the powers that be concerning this delicate, serious matter. Because we are all at it. We heard in St. Lucia where innocent bystanders, passerbys will get shot down. And it can happen. We don't want it to happen. Nowhere. In St. Lucia, definitely not in St. Nevis either. Thanks for listening.
All right, caller, and thank you for your contribution to this program. We are winding down. We'll end this program at 1:30. Let me say thank you so much for your contribution to this program. We'll take let's say this last call, and we'll wrap up the conversation for today. Hello, caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Yeah, Devon. Yeah, I just call in to concur with Africa and tell him amen. And I'm going to say like him. This government need to go back to what it takes to curtail those lot of crime that we had in the country. Go back to it. Why move it? You cannot move something that is working, beneficial for you or the country. Why they going to move it? Because of politics? Just to say, well, then that they're doing things different to the former administration. Well, if you're doing things different, then it should be better than what you're moving away from. But you can't move what was working and think you're doing good and you're doing worse. Because everybody now concerned how these killing going on. it look like they don't have, the people them don't have no kind of respect. Who ain't gone in restaurant, go shoot up nigger and kill nigger in restaurant while other people in there? And who ain't killing people and put them in car trunk? And now look what happened. 3 o'clock in the morning, according to the news, them guys playing the card. And this ignorant idiot who don't respect the law gonna go in there with the mask on and leg of the gun. One run and break his foot. And one dead on the spot and one dead in the hospital. Come on, government. Go back and use what was working. Don't move it. You want to show people, well, you're a different government and you ain't following up what was there. What was there was working, man. So I come back, like I said, amen to Africa. Africa, you have said it. And more people there out there supposed to speak out. I like you call her before. I call her all. You said that the Prime Minister should ask the Attorney General to step down. Step down, man. Because he's not the kind of example that he's showing as the top law, the top law in the country. That is what you call it, they're misleading people. And his example is bad for the youth. They're watching all of that. They're looking at that to see, well, then if he up there and he gonna commit a crime with why what he do and getting away, well, they could do what they want. So there's a lot of things going wrong in this country, and the term that the person used about I don't remember the word and what is silent mode or whatever it is. They are correct. So Devon, you have a good evening. Thank you very much.
And thank you, caller, as well, for your contribution to this program. This has been another edition of Voices right here on WINN-FM 98.9. Thank you so much for your contribution. Until next time, you guys continue to stay safe. Remember, don't drink and drive, and certainly don't text and drive. Enjoy your Monday, and I wish you a very productive week. Take care.
Found the sound 98.9
Buildings damaged by an earthquake are dangerous. This is not the time for sightseeing. You could be in personal danger and your presence could hamper emergency responses. Also, stay away from areas prone to landslides, low-lying coastal areas, lakes and streams that lead to the ocean. Do not head for the coast until local authorities tell you that the danger of a tsunami has passed. Curiosity can kill.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with WINN-FM.
Life is unpredictable. When a serious illness strikes, such as cancer, heart attack, or stroke, the Family Critical Illness Plan from Kuna Caribbean Insurance can provide an extra layer of financial protection for you and your family against out-of-pocket expenses. Select a plan that fits your needs and get up to $90,000 in coverage. No medical examination is required. Contact your credit union or one of their approved family indemnity plan providers to enroll today. To learn more, call 466-9453 or visit their website at kunacaribbean.com. Kuna Caribbean Insurance, for all people.
Hello, this is Harper.
You got a clock, you got a chair,